Uh, Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
What is up, UW fantasy football players? It is playoff time, and so for a special playoff edition, we have gone back to our roots. I am back here with my former partner in crime. We have sent Levi to Mexico to do UW real work. Actually, he's sitting right there, but he's going on a plane in a few minutes to Mexico. So we're going to stay here and take care of Fantasy Football Podcast while he goes and does some amazing ministry, training leaders in Mexico with the one and only Louis Schmitz. And I thought it only appropriate, Ryan, that you and I give the playoffs since you are looking. Last year we sat here at this very time, and we were in the Final Four together.
Yeah.
And we were both like 2 points away from playing each other in championships. And so we were just going off at how smart we were. And today we sit here as
complete losers.
Complete losers or awful fantasy football
sitting
players.
On the outside, yeah. I mean, out of 14 people, we stayed out. I actually cried a little bit on Sunday when I realized I had lost, but then I think I'm over it now, but I might start venting just a little bit on some certain people
So
on
the
my
good
team.
news is we are not in the playoffs, so this is a completely unbiased look
of
what is going on.
Kellen, I love you.
So first of all, congratulations to the 8 teams that didn't make it, one of which is Kellen, of course, so I'm sure we'll hear plenty about him, even though I would say he limped in / crawled into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Can we just say real quick, he tied with Andrew Briggs this week.
Even you beat Andrew, didn't you?
No. Thanks, dude. No, but we'll get into who I did beat later. I have that ready to go. But no, I mean, Kellen, that's a rough way. I know they were like teammates second session last summer. Maybe he was just looking out for his guys, like mentoring. He's like his young grasshopper, Andrew Briggs. But 64-64.
That's pretty embarrassing. Why couldn't I have played one of those this week? I'm not even gonna get into that.
Anyway, we got 8 teams in the playoffs. I am not one of them. Ryan is not one of them. Let's first take a look at how we got those 8 teams in, because if you were paying attention on Sunday, you might have known that it was still up in the air for a few teams that had a chance to get in.
There was 10 teams that had playoff chances. I mean, obviously a couple of the top ones had locked it in already. So the bottom 3 were me, Jenny, and Farley kind of fighting for that last spot. Jenny had to have me and Farley both lose. She had to win, and she had to beat both of us by 40 points. So it was kind of outside shot. She started off pretty well. She got like 26 or something from one of her running backs that Thursday night, but then she kind of petered off for us. She didn't get much of a chance. So then it came down to...
She did win, at least.
Yeah, she did win.
She finished the season on a win.
Right. So then it came down to me and Farley.
On a W.
So did you. See, that's why you wanted to bring that up probably, so you could talk about it.
Let's talk about Farley.
Okay, so me and Farley.
The boyfriend.
So Farley, if we both lost, I had to have more points than him. We were pretty much tied in points. We scored a lot more points, both of us, than pretty much everybody else in the league. Not bitter about that at all. Anyway, so I saw he started taking off, and like the whole day I was following a thing, and we were like, I had 93, he had 93. I had 101, he had 101. I was like, all right, we're staying pretty close, but I knew he had somebody going, so I was like, I have to somehow beat Spencer, and Spencer somehow, Garcon put up like 27 on me.
Yeah.
And so that I just needed a really ridiculous week from some of my guys. And my fantasy football year all comes down to one play.
One play.
Okay.
Play.
Vernon Davis makes his beautiful run right down the seam, makes a cut between 2 defenders. They let him go. 40-yard touchdown pass. Alex Smith, by the way, I'm a huge Niners fan. Niners are awesome. Anyway, comes right over his hand, and it just hits him in the hands. And he just watches the ball just like drop through his fingers.
And as the ball dropped through his fingers, so did all your fantasy hopes.
So did my fantasy hopes. And that was a 10-point play. And
lost by 5.
And I lost by 5. And I'd be in the playoffs, and I would have won the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's guaranteed.
Hey,
so
that's just side note. Life is fragile, guys. Just like fantasy football. I mean, that's just a great little analogy of life about how quickly, one day everything's great, and then all of a sudden, drop it. It's all over.
And that's the problem. It's never my fault. Somebody else is always dropping the ball.
That's another lesson in life. It's always somebody else's fault.
Sheesh. Unbelievable.
So, anyway, a little bitter over here.
So, anyway, I actually like Farley's chances going to the playoffs. He's on a hot streak, 4 games in a row now. He's won. He puts up a ton of points. He's got a ridiculous team thanks to some trades
and he also has a quarterback who is kind of like...
he's
ridiculous.
superhuman.
He is superhuman. Aaron Rodgers, fine. He's good.
He's almost as good as Tim Tebow.
He is almost as good as Tim Tebow.
I mean, that's how good he is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
here we go. Playoff matchups. Let's roll through these.
Let's
We
get it
got 4 games going on to see who's going to get their name engraved on the UW plaque upstairs. Our first matchup is our number 1 overall seed. Our first time ever having, I think, a female be the number 1 overall seed in this. Julia Cruz taking on the 8th seed, the one and only fantasy football guy himself. But he's the 8th seed, so he almost was sitting right here next to us. I mean, that's how close
well,
we
yeah,
all
if I
were.
would have won, he was the
Yeah,
one
he would
that would have
he'd
been
have to
out
do this.
because I had scored more points.
Levi Marty versus Julia Cruz. Break it down, Ryan.
All right, well, with Julia, this stinks for her. This is just fantasy awful luck is what happens. Her best player,
And
Matt
don't cry
Forte,
to me about bad fantasy football luck.
but her best player, Matt Forte, is out going into the first game of the playoffs, which is huge for her. That's 20 points pretty much that's just knocked off her bench. Now she's starting Donald Brown.
And he's only projected for 2, but I tell you, Julia, I think he might get 3.
At least 3.
He might get 3. So
might get
don't worry about those projections.
Yeah, so this don't mean anything. And one thing that I think I would do different than her than she has right now, I'd probably start Freeman coming back. I think he has a pretty decent matchup this coming up this next week. But anyway, it really doesn't matter because Levi has all really good matchups.
He's
projected
over 100 points, and projections mean everything.
With Forte out, I don't like Julia's chances at all. So I actually think Levi.
We have had an 8-1 upset a couple different times.
It happens quite a bit. It's about 50-50.
It would not be too crazy.
Yeah.
But Levi's also, I mean, he's not quite a great playoff player.
No, he's a playoff choker actually.
Right. It's kind of like the Chargers.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens. But I actually see him winning this one. I see him losing the next one.
I do too. I got Levi winning the first game. Next matchup, our 4-5 matchup, we got the guys Mike Lieberneck, who is a former champ, against one of our newcomers this year, Kellen Dick, who, as we mentioned before, limped into the playoffs, and Mike went on a nice run there at the end of the season to get in. What do you think about this one?
Well, I 2 big players coming back for both of them. Peterson's coming back for Mike, so that's huge because his team was completely worthless without him. Somehow he still beat me, but his team was pretty bad. He put in the 80s the last 2 weeks or something, which is not enough to win much in the playoffs. And Vic is coming back for Kellen, which is huge because his, like you said, his team has been pretty weak. So with their guys coming back, the thing that I don't like about Mike's team is that Laurent Robinson's actually been doing really well for him, but Austin's supposed to. Not really sure. Supposed to come back this week, and you can only assume that he's going to be getting the reps that Robinson would get. So that really weakens, I think, about 5 or 6 points from his team, which makes me think that Kellen will probably take that one.
I'm disagreeing on this one. I got Mike. Mike's taking this one because he's a San Diego guy, and we're all about supporting people who are Charger fans. So I'll take Mike in the 4-5 matchup. The next other one is our 3 versus 6, the rematch of this past week. We had to play back-to-back weeks. It is Coach Amy Lind, and she is taking on the one and only Farley. That's our 3-6 matchup. But like as you said, he's a 6th seed, but he just rolled her this week, 114-88, coming in, and looks to maybe do the same thing again because he has pretty good matchups. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, his team is stacked except for that one running back that he starts that is literally completely worthless.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got to think that he's going to win. And the nice thing about Amy is Bradshaw's back, pretty healthy, so that'll help her team out a lot. Austin's coming back, hopefully for her, so then her whole wide receivers aren't going to be completely worthless. Hopefully, so.
And the good news for her, I mean,
big week.
Yeah, and he has. And the good news is, no matter what happens in her fantasy world, it pretty much, I don't think the Packers will ever lose in her lifetime again. So, I mean, at least she has that to fall back on. That's pretty good.
Deal. But I think I'm going to go with Farley.
Yeah, and she has a good team name. I know you don't like it very much, but I think Yale. I mean, it's just like you go into the playoffs, a team named Yale is going to do well. I mean,
it is the dumbest team name ever in the history of the world.
George Bush went to Yale. I don't know if that's saying a lot, but they invented like pizza at Yale. That's what they say there, at least, and frisbees and other things there. So, and they're smart. So I like their chances. And they were voted the #1 law school this year in the country. Just saying. Okay, and our final matchup, 2 versus 7, is Seth the 2 seed.
Yeah. That's
Liberty,
funny.
a little Liberty matchup. LU Liberty. All right, Seth versus James Cody Smith.
He's actually not going against Cody. He's going against Cody's fantasy team because Cody doesn't play fantasy.
Yeah, Cody.
He just drafted somebody. And
we love fantasy football, and you don't even check your team, and somehow you made it in as a 7 seed. But can we just take one quick second to say this? I owned you this week. I don't know what this thing's called, the bottom page, where they give the biggest blowout every week, but that was me this week. 116-67. I took you to the cleaners, James Cody Smith. I beast moded on you, as you would say, to take your own phrase from you. So I'm sorry to do that to you and then send you to the playoffs limping with a black and bloodied eye, but that's basically what I just did to you. So at least I ended the season on a W, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to go right out again this week. So I like Seth in this matchup because James Cody Smith, I just cannot vote and pick for somebody that has not put the time and effort into it.
I mean, I can't either. Seth has decent matchups. He's got Arian Foster, which is always nice. But Cody, the only way he's going to lose, in my opinion, like really, really lose coming into the playoffs with his matchups, is if somebody gets hurt, because he's not going to change his lineup. But his team is just loaded, and Tom Brady, Wes Welker are going to go off again. He's got the best tight end of the game. He's got good running backs. I'm going with Cody. Sorry, Seth. I'm always a little bit of a hater on Seth, not on purpose because I love Seth, but I just never like his fantasy teams that much, and I've kind of been ragging on him all year.
Yep.
But so I think Cody. So I got Levi, Cody, Farley, and Kellen. So we got two of the same.
Yep.
On there.
Good luck this week, guys. It is the quarterfinals, seeing who advances to the Final Four, and maybe we'll see. Never mind. That's another story for another day. Good luck this week, guys, and maybe we'll catch up with you guys here in a few weeks when we get down to the championship.
All right.
See ya.
Adios.